Well, hello there, I'm Détroit. Today I want to draw on a bigger surface than just a page of my sketchbook, but I still don't feel like drawing on a large sheet of paper, so I decided to split the difference and draw across 2 pages of my sketchbook. I've been using this book for a while now, but there are still a lot of pages left. You might want to consider subscribing to be sure you'll see the rest of it. This pattern I'm going for is not unlike other patterns I've drawn before, and yet it's a rather new one for me. It's mostly made of big organic shapes, and I'm filling the in-between with straight lines and circles. Straight from the start, after maybe 5 shapes, it felt a bit flat, so I decided I would double the lines on the bottom left of each shape. You can see it as abstract shading. That's a cool trick to make stuff pop a bit more in your doodles. Even if your doodle style is very simple, you can add small things like that to make them feel bigger. It's the same for the dots inside the big shapes. As you can see, I'm using a rotring isograph to draw. No matter what pen I've had the chance to try using, the rotring remains a top-notch pen. It's precise, the line is always the same thickness, and the ink is very pleasing. I don't know much about inks, but I like the rotrings. It's a very dense black, and it's fluid enough to dry quickly. I'm pleased with the inks I'm using, for both my fountain pens and my rotring, so I don't even feel the need to try others. I have to say one thing about the rotring though, filling it is a bit of a pain. Basically, you have the head of a pen, and attached to it is a cylindrical cartridge. It's just a cylinder though, and you have to fill it with drops of ink. It's not a fancy system with a piston or cartridges you switch, and so inevitably when you pop the head of the pen back onto the cartridge, the air pressure and the ink displacement makes the ink spill. It's very hard to find the right ink level to avoid that. I filled this pen right before drawing and my fingers were completely black. I washed my hands before it fully dried, and I was able to get rid of it all, except on my middle finger of my left hand. The ink got under my nail and around my cuticles. So if you were wondering, that's why my left middle fingernail is dirty. These days, I inevitably end up with ink on my left hand, it seems. After last week's video, this is anecdotic, but still. If you haven't watched it, please give it a watch. I'll put a link in the top corner card as well as in the description. I completely covered my left hand with a permanent marker tattoo. It was really fun to draw, and I feel like the video deserves a bit more attention than what it got. I know, it's strange to promote a video in another video, but I still want to do it. Do watch this one to the end before you click away though. Both videos are worth a watch. If I'm completely honest, not all videos I make are worth a watch, but these 2 are ones I really like. Not all videos can be bangers, and that's completely normal. I strive to always make better content, but on a week-to-week basis it's not realistic. Some weeks I don't have time to keep pushing, which is why I decided to go back to 1 video per week. I already decided on it a month ago. I think I talked about it in the New Year's video. Starting from March, which is less than a week away, I will only be posting on Sundays, alternating between digital content and abstracting drawings. I would love to keep making videos twice a week, but it's not something I'm free to do, I'm afraid. My work schedule is going to be more and more hectic from now on, and I can't prioritize drawings. I'm in the last year of my PhD studies, and very soon I will have to write my thesis. I don't know exactly how this is gonna go, but I currently have a little taste of it. I've recently been invited to give a talk in an online conference with European and North American researchers. It's due in a week, and for the past week and a half I've been working on my presentation. I have to make a PowerPoint, obviously, but more importantly I need to have 15 minutes of stuff to say about my work, and then there will be 5 minutes of questions, which I won't know if I'm prepared for until the last moment. You see, not everybody works on the same thing. The people at this conference will be of the same domain, of course, but we each have our own studies on different materials and slightly different physics. I like to see knowledge of this particular kind as a circle with a fuzzy outline. So everybody has their own circle, and the questions people ask are at the edge of their circles because you don't ask a question which you already know the answer to. Now, it all depends on whether our circles intersect, in which case I can answer. If the circles don't intersect, I have to do my best to bring them closer as the speaker. I'm probably worrying too much and stressing myself out for no reason. But it still is taking me a lot of time that I can't use to draw. And I'm not complaining, I love this part of my work, it's just a bit stressful, that's all. I keep looking at my data, wondering what I'm going to say about it and going deeper. That is the scenario I've been experiencing, right? I'll look at my measurements and see a feature. Okay, let's see how people who measured similar things I've explained it in the literature. Oh, really? Is that how? But why do they say that? Let's look at the cited reference. Ah, I see, so this implies this other thing, but it depends on that. What is it exactly? Let's look it up. And so on. It's the rabbit hole of Wikipedia, but applied to physics. There is no way a human can know everything, so the goal is to understand as much as possible so you can explain it to others. But you also have to know where to stop, and with imposter syndrome you tend to put this limit further and further away. And while that's a good thing to do for knowledge and understanding, it doesn't help my PowerPoint presentation to make itself. So what I'm getting at is that 3 months from now, I will be constantly doing that, not for a PowerPoint, but for literally 100 or so pages book that will go under expert scrutiny. This is why I will slow down the drawing. I have to say though, drawing isn't what's filling most of my schedule. It's the video making aspect. I will draw regardless, but with less frequent videos, I won't have to write the scripts or edit as much. My goal is thus to make better or bigger drawings and still save a lot of time because the videos won't be as numerous as before. Sometimes I will still upload on Thursdays, but it will be like bonus videos, probably just drawing footage without any talking. I don't know yet, I'm still figuring it all out at the moment. It's always hard to balance everything. This is why I prefer to keep things off balance. Take this drawing for example. I could have made a nice shape out of it, but I really wanted to keep the off balance and make one side bigger. Did you like this drawing? I had fun making it. Tell me in the comments what you want to see me draw next. You already know what to do with the buttons below the video, the red one and the one in the shape of a thumb. I have social media too. I'll let you do your thing. I'm Detroit and I'll see you Sunday. Bye!